This episode is sponsored by Shopify. Try the e-commerce platform I trust for Glossy. Sign up for your $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/happy. Open phone. Eliminate the hassle of managing work conversations from your personal phone. Get 20% off with Open Phone on your first 6 months when you sign up at openphone.com/earn. Rocket Money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/EYH today. Saley. Get an exclusive 15% off discount on Saley eSIM data plans. Go to saley.com/happy and download the Saley app and use code HAPPY at checkout. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/qualified. That's linkedin.com/qualified to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
If I started any sort of business where I was connecting with people, I would actually bring this into the core values for people to be aware and up for the conversation. So eyes up, body open, be ready to be the first person to start the conversation. It's going to change your whole life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Earn Your Happy podcast. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. And if you're anything like me in the winter, you typically start to look down at your hands while you're typing on your computer and you're like, what the hell has happened to these hands? They're dry, they're cracked, and they're not looking so hot. And I swear to you, this is like the first winter that I've really noticed a big difference in my hands and in my skin because of my skin hydration. And I really believe it's because of all of the ingredients and the hyaluronic acid that I've been taking 2 to 3 times a day in Glossy, because hyaluronic acid has the ability to hold 1,000 times its weight in water. And so what it does is it holds that water underneath your skin and it plumps it, and it kind of fills out those like fine lines and wrinkles, and it helps with skin hydration. And so if you're looking for something, if you're feeling really dehydrated this winter, there's so many different things that help with hydration in your skin, like the minerals in magnesium and zinc. They also help you recover from stress and fatigue faster, which if you're sitting and staring at your screen and your hands, that can also help you. You guys, I drink mine every morning and every evening. I also like an afternoon one because it's the way that I get my water in. There's something about having my water flavored that really helps me make sure that I drink it. So if you want 25% off, you can go to getglossy.com. It's the only place you're going to get that discount because we're now tightening up. And the place that you're going to be able to do that is because you are a loyal podcast listener, and I want the best for you guys. So today I want to talk to you about 3 things that could change how everyone responds to you and what your business is doing in the next month. I swear, if you do these 3 things every single day, you're going to notice a massive impact in your life and in your business. They're very basic. I've been reading the Dale Carnegie book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it's one of the greatest books of all time. There's no wonder that it's sold over, I believe it's 22 million copies throughout history, and it was written in early 1900s, and it was revised, I believe, twice. And it is so incredibly good because these are life lessons throughout history that have worked for people. Like, this has historically worked, and it has an incredible track record. And a couple of these things are from that. A couple of them are not from the book. But some of these things I have learned and worked on in the past, and it's changed my life. And some of them I'm really working hard on now because the book has brought me when you're really reading about something, it just brings this new level of awareness. And while I'm reading this book, I'm like, I must remember to read this or kind of, get the cliff notes of this every single year, because it's not just that it changes, your life and your business. It's important. And It's about your legacy as well. And here's why. So, number one, this isn't necessarily from the book. This was from a friend of ours who came and spoke at dinner series talking about connection and networking and how it all works and why your relationships are the most important thing in your life. And this was from our friend David Norrie. And he said, be up for the conversation. So every day of your life, to be up for the conversation. What does that mean? That means when you walk into a coffee shop, that your head is up, you're not on your phone, that you are open for eye contact, your body is open, you're not closed off, your arms aren't crossed, your hands aren't up by your neck or your face saying, I don't want to talk, I'm shy, I want to keep to myself. It's open energy. And it's not just being up for the conversation, having open energy, it's starting the conversation. So I am actively working so hard on this right now to the point where if I saw you out in public, you'd probably see me do it once, at least once in whatever location I'm in. So if I am, at a cycle class and I'm sitting next to someone, I'm going to be open. I'm going to look up. I'm not going to be on my phone. I'm going to see who I could compliment. Compliment is a great way to start a conversation or talk about something you're about to do. And I'm going to be the person who engages first. So be up for the conversation. Like I said, at a coffee shop, at your cycle class, at whatever you're doing in the grocery store, ask the person who's checking you out about them. Like just start the conversation. But wherever you go, always be up and open for the conversation. It's so crazy because I was, getting out of a class today and I thought, man, if I started any sort of business where I was connecting with people, I would actually bring this into the core values. I would have everybody teach that when they either have a class or when you're getting people together, or if it's at a restaurant and you are, helping train your servers or the hostess or whatever that looks like for people to be aware and up for the conversation. So eyes up, body open, be ready to be the first person to start the conversation. It's going to change your whole life. Now, I will tell you, because I have been working on this every day, it's tiring. It's interesting how much you will not get reciprocated. Like some people are so closed off that I've gone into places and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even see anyone who I felt like I could even remotely approach. Now, that's the extra credit challenge. What extra credit, you ask? Your own. Self-validation of you doing it, because ain't nobody else going to give you credit for this in the beginning. So I find that sometimes I get really exhausted because I become aware that so many people are not up for the conversation. There's different areas of the country as well who are less up for the conversation and some that are more up for the conversation. So if I'm on a walk, I'm probably going to start a conversation with multiple people. If our dogs are meeting, or if I'm over, by the ocean and we're looking at the water together, I'm going to say something or ask something of you. And during the day, sometimes I do get tired. I'm like, what? I don't want to be up for the conversation right now. Once in a while, I'm not. I'm like, what? I'm running to CVS to get allergy meds and I'm just keeping to myself. But even then, I'm like, oh, you should talk to this person. Just be interested. So you guys be up for the conversation. Even throughout the book, even though this wasn't necessarily said in this way, I will tell you that this is a trait of successful people throughout the book that are interviewed, that are talked about, is they were outgoing and interested. And that brings me to the next one. And that is to be interested in other people. Throughout the book, Dale writes about different people in history who were the most remembered as just incredible humans who people loved and rallied around their messages and who they were. And it's because every person who was interviewed about that person said that they made them feel important. They said it was rare that they talked about themselves and they remembered details about that person. So be interested in people's lives and actually start, asking them questions that you remember. So what I'm doing right now is for the places that I go the most, I keep the notes section of my phone with their names in it and little details about them. So whether it's my coffee shop and it's a girl who works there named Ayana, and she was telling me about some different health issues that she's having, but she also told me that she got to go up recently and go to Big Bear, which is in California, and she had this great trip. And I'm going to remember those details because they're in my phone. And whenever I see her, I'm going to quick go to the notes in my phone, maybe while I'm in line, and bring that up. Because when I was talking to her the other day and I brought something up, she lights up like a freaking Christmas tree. And I'm interested, I truly am interested in her. Like, I see her every day at the coffee shop, and I want her to know that she's an important part of my life. And I want people to feel that way. And it's not easy. This is not easy stuff, like sitting there and being like, okay, I'm going to pull my notes up. Now I'm going to put that new detail in. Okay, who else works here? Who else is here all the time? Who else can I talk to? Who else, could I really see? Because the world is better when you make it smaller, and you make it smaller by knowing the people who you interact with and get to see, or the people that you get to see on a daily basis. The world becomes a really special place when you put a name to everyone in your life and you know about them. I think that a lot of depression and anxiety that people have now is because everything is so transactional with people. Like, feels so you can say hello to people, you can be nice, and that still doesn't feel as good as actually getting their name, knowing them, and being interested. This is going to change the way that you operate in your day and the way that you see people. You're going to actually start to feel like you have a lot more that you're excited about every single day, and that you fit more into this puzzle of life. Like, when you're just drifting, you don't know anyone, nobody knows you, nobody cares, nobody recognizes you, it doesn't feel great. You just feel a little bit meaningless and purposeless. And like, the world's a little bit of a scary place. The smaller we can make it by knowing people and having people know us, the more safe you're going to feel in life, and probably the less anxiety and depression that you're going to feel as well. So be interested in people. The more interested you are, the more interested they are in working with you, in knowing you, and being your friend. Trust me, this is so huge. When you meet people, make sure that you make them feel like the most important person in the room. So less talk about yourself, more talk about them. All right, the third one.
As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury of clocking out early. Your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that grinds just as hard as you do. And that hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. When you clock out, LinkedIn clocks in. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, share it with your network, and get qualified candidates that you can manage all in one place. I've had to hire so many people through the years, and let me tell you, it's one of the biggest challenges you face as a small business owner. And having an expert like LinkedIn Jobs in your back pocket is going to help you so much. Here's how it works. You post your job. LinkedIn's new feature can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people with deep candidate insights. You can either post your job for free or you can pay to promote it. Promoted jobs get 3 times more qualified applicants. Get qualified candidates at the end of this. So at the end of the day, the most important thing to your small business is the quality of your candidates. And with LinkedIn, you can feel confident that you're getting the best. Based on LinkedIn data, 72% of small businesses using LinkedIn say that LinkedIn helped them find high quality candidates. Share with your network, because you can let your network know that you're hiring, and this is a huge help. You can even add a hashtag hiring frame to your profile picture and get 2 times more qualified candidates. Find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/qualified. That's linkedin.com/qualified to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. If you're someone who travels all the time and has to stay connected, let me tell you about Saily. Saily is a new eSIM service app, and you can choose from several affordable eSIM plans in over 190 countries and 8 regions. With Saily eSIM, you'll always have a connection when you need. And if you've ever been lost abroad or really needed internet with no Wi-Fi in sight, you'll understand what a difference a local SIM card can make. With Saily, you only have to download once. You get affordable prices, global and regional plans. You can avoid scams, protect your privacy, stay connected, and have 24/7 chat support, along with a full refund if your device isn't eSIM compatible. Get an exclusive 15% off discount on Saily eSIM data plans. Go to saily.com/earn happy. Download the Saily app and use code EARNHAPPY at checkout. That's EARNHAPPY at checkout at saily.com.
Use people's names whenever you see them. Use their names multiple times. So I can tell you, whenever I interview someone, and somebody who's great at this, I just did an interview with Chase Jarvis. He's got an incredible book out. I did 2 different interviews with him, but he's just an incredible human. And I know that this is something he places a ton of importance on, because he does it. I don't even have to ask him. I could literally say, hey, here's what I've noticed. Tell me where this began. When I interview with him, he uses my name multiple times, probably anywhere from 5 to 10 times during the interview. Before he starts a sentence or acknowledging something, he will use my name or bring something up about me that he knows. And it creates this like instant connection in the interview where I open up more, I feel more connected. I feel more like I can ask, even deeper questions of this person. I feel like the listener listening feels like we have a kinship together. Names are the sweetest sound that people can hear. The more that you use someone's name and remember it, the more they're going to lean in to wanting to work with you, talk with you, and the more they're going to remember you because you remembered them. This one's tough for me, guys. I suck at this one. I have a weird thing where someone will tell me their name. I'll say it over and over and I'll be like, yes, I know his name is Chase. And then when I go to use it, I'm like, but is it? Did I forget? Is that really his name? And I'm like, yes, it is. And I'm like, but is it? Like, because I think it's like your worst nightmare to call someone by a name that they're not. And I'm just learning it's okay. Like, I just did it the other day. I know the woman's name who I go and get my nails done by. And she said my name. And I was like, wait, I know your name. And I called her a different name, even though I knew what her actual name was. And instead of feeling dumb, I was like, I'm so sorry. I keep a little note section of my phone. I'm not going to mess that up again because you're important to me. So I have you in my phone right here. And I showed her, and it just like made her so incredibly happy. So just say, I'm so sorry. Look I'm going to try to be better because I want to remember you. Like, you're an important person in my life who I get to see. I want to remember you. By the way, I haven't been going to this nail studio for long because we haven't, lived in this particular spot for super long, and I bounced around. So I've had her 3 times. So I will remember her. It's not like I've been going to her for years and didn't know. But anyway, use names and watch your life change. So you guys, I hope that you start working on this. Like, it's something small, but it's so big. And I promise you, this is about like creating a meaningful life. And the way that we can do that, people don't create a meaningful life for you. You create a meaningful life for yourself. And we do that through the level of our interactions with other people and the level of the relationships that we have in our life. So if I were to ask the happiest person, in the world what it is that made, their life great, they would say their relationships. They would say, the things that they got to do and the people that they got to do them with, and the level of meaning and purpose that they had within the things that they did for people or with people. So we have to work on this and create it for ourselves. And man, I suck at the name thing, but I am eternally working on it. It's like the world's largest memory game, which is probably also great for us. So it's like name Sudoku. Like, I don't play Sudoku, but I'm going to play this game and make it my Sudoku. So there you go. I'm so grateful for you guys. And tell me about your experience. Tell me if you're going to start doing this. You can DM me on Instagram and let me know. I try to see all of my DMs. So if I get to see yours, I would love that. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you know somebody who could benefit from this, I would love if you would share the podcast. That would mean so much to me. That's also how this podcast grows. So if you just share this episode or one that you love with one person in your text list, that would be absolutely amazing for this podcast. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love. And until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone.